Well, guys, I want to move on to the next thing because there is a big difference between pre-qualification and a pre-approval. And I know that at this point, I would like to think that most people have seen a difference or been on the internet. They've seen someone else talk about there being a difference. So let's just really quickly define the difference. And let's talk about the advantage of getting pre-approved versus just getting pre-qualified. So tell everyone, what is the difference between being pre-approved and getting pre-qualified?
So pre-qualified is like, Andy, where do you work at?
Here,
How much money do you make?
this much,
What's your credit score?
that number,
How much money you have in your bank?
that amount.
Cool. You're pre-qualified based
Yeah.
on the information you told me.
And there's your letter.
There's your letter. Yeah.
And it'll basically say, based on the information that we discussed, you're pre-approved subject to verifying that information through documentation.
Well, pre-qualified. Yeah.
Pre-qualified.
Yeah.
You're pre-qualified.
Yeah.
Approval is basically actually doing that extra step, verifying your documents, reading over your income, running your credit, knowing what your assets are looking like, thoroughly running them through a desktop underwriting approval system, and then that's spitting out a response based on your application. That desktop underwriter, desktop underwriter approval is like a golden ticket to these banks. As soon as they see that you have approved eligible, you're now able to submit the loan to get financing.
Can I tell you guys my quick little personal analogy here?
Yeah, please.
This is like if I have a friend named Thomas. He's a personal trainer. Like if I just call Thomas and talk to him on the phone, he can ask me some questions. But then if he's like, hey, show up at the gym tomorrow, bring your bag, and get ready to lift some weights, and we're gonna do like the little the little pinchers and all that. Like, oh, now we're really putting numbers on paper now. Oh, okay, we're really actually making a plan. Oh, we're really getting like measured here. That would be my example of a difference. It's one thing to talk to a health coach on the phone or a personal fitness trainer. It's another thing to show up and let them see all the stuff that you need to be working on.
That's so true. That's
Very
so true.
true. Very, very true. The most common thing what people don't know is most loans fall out because the loan officer did not verify the income properly. They didn't verify the income, so they utilized whatever they thought it was. And then next thing you know, that person actually doesn't earn that much. And so now you have an escrow fallout. Mm-hmm. So very, very important to actually take a look at that income and really see, obtain, either the taxes if they're self-employed or just the W-2s if they're W-2 wage earners, and so you really need to just verify that information up front.
Yeah. One of the things I was make sure I share with everyone today is that you remember if you're out trying to buy a house this summer or even in the fall or whenever it is, you're in the arena with people that have done this. So don't just think like you're the only one vying for that house on the corner that you love and you're the strongest candidate. Maybe you will be, but remember that there's other people out there looking for homes too. And if they've gone through the approval process and they have an AUS or DU desktop underwriting approval, the bank is going to accept that as an approval. And the seller is going to likely ask for that as part of what they want to see with your offer. And in some cases, that seller might already have their lender try to cross-qualify you, which means you putting in all this effort to do the approval process versus just getting qualified is actually going to be more beneficial for you in the long run.
That's a great point. I mean, we started providing the AUS for many years. It's really not supposed to be something that you provide a seller. The great thing about it shows transparency. It shows that things have been verified. Even though that is still manually inputted by a loan officer or a loan officer assistant, et cetera, we still have to verify the information. These systems are so smart that it'll go into your bank. It'll verify what you actually have in there, the bank account. It'll verify your employment through the work number, which is a third-party service, or other forms of other third parties. So these systems are already integrated with that. Yeah. So if the borrower already says, yep, I allow you to do this, I give you authorization, then that stuff can be verified through the system already. These things are getting smarter.
And to your point, if the system rejects the application, a lot of times you're able to figure out what it is that it doesn't like or dislikes that you need to shore up or make more strong so that it will become an accept later, whether later is tomorrow, the next day, or weeks down the road, depending on what issue you have to figure out.
Exactly. And it allows you to do that up front versus waiting at the last minute and just getting pre-approved. And then now I'm in escrow, and now it's going to fall out after incurred cost of an appraisal, a home inspection, and my time. And I already visualized myself in that property. I already loved it, and now I can't get in because I don't qualify. So that's why you do these up front to make sure that you get approved. Again, going to the transparency of providing this AUS, automated underwriter system, is so that most sellers are requesting to view it now. And the great thing about that, it does not show a credit. It does not show, social security number, date of birth, account number, or addresses. So there's really no way for anybody to steal an identity. It does have your full name because that's how we ran it, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. What you were going to say something, Brian?
No, I was just gonna say to Will's point, it just proves that you'd rather not shoot yourself in the foot and go and do the process, find the house, and then you didn't get approved, and oh my God, you're sad and now you're discouraged. It's like, do yourself the service and get approved, know exactly what it's looking like, and then go shop with the confidence, knowing that your offer could potentially be accepted because you're buying within the range.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're not living in an environment where winging it is going to work out. I mean, you be one lucky dog if that does work out, but I don't see winging it working out for a lot of people. It's the preparation and the fortune. What did I say? The fortune favors the prepared, right? And then the last thing I just wanted to tell everybody is, this is where your organization personally is going to be your best friend. This is when you have your hands on your tax returns. You keep adequate records of your pay stubs. You have your bank statements accessible. All the things that are going to support this process are to aid and help you. The loan officer is not trying to dig into all your back life because they have some personal care about that. It's about helping you cross the finish line and getting keys in your hands.
No, I'm glad you brought that to point, because a lot of what we're seeing right now is we're seeing borrowers cannot qualify on their own. So they're asking the parents to, help them co-sign with them. And we're getting a lot of that. And a lot of these parents are actually receiving Social Security. They're receiving retirement. Well, guess what? We need the 1099s for Social Security for the last 2 years. And they don't know. They're like, well, we don't get them. A lot of times it's the mail. So I'm going to send my dad or my mom to Social Security. And I tell them, no, go to the Social Security and create a link. And it's always good for them to have that link, because there you can actually print out the last 2 years W-2s and your award letter for the upcoming year of what you're going to earn. And like, employment income, we're able to utilize the gross income of that Social Security, not after they take for medical purpose or what have you, deductions. We take the full gross income. So always good. If you get paid through, online, and you can have access to your pay stubs online, just get your access code and your password and just stow them away somewhere where you can find them.
Awesome.
And they're accessible.
That's good.
I always recommend that.
That's good.